So someone recently asked me in the comments, do all twins come into union? Because some people say that they don't. And I responded to that comment, but I just had a download. I love analogies. So I wanted to explain this to you, an addition explanation for those of you who maybe still struggle to understand. So when we come to this life, right, as a soul, we plan everything. And you know this, that we plan everything. We plan our karmic lessons, our struggles, our pains, our disappointments. We plan our highest, most abundant timeline and the things that we will have to overcome in order to reach that highest, most abundant timeline. And in order to live a lifetime with your twin and having planned that you will get activated to the journey, to go through this deep healing and karmic clearance to one day get into union, it means that your soul is old enough. You know what I say? I always explain this to you, we're all same age, but old enough means experience enough in terms of human lifetimes, and you have enough wisdom of a soul because you've done this in enough times to be ready, because it's extremely difficult journey, right? So you're an old soul, so your soul knows what to expect, right? So chances are that you go very similar to what your soul actually planned, because you are an old soul. Old twins or twinnies, we are all old souls. We've done this at least 500 times, okay? So here's the analogy how to explain this to you. When you are a soul planning a lifetime for yourself and you release that the higher self always stays, you release part of your spirit to blend with the body and live that lifetime, you have possibilities that can happen, and you're going to be guiding yourself. Obviously, you're going to be orchestrating certain things for yourself, but how far away from your plan things will go also depends on the age of your soul. So imagine you're a parent, right? And you say to your child, can you please go down and buy some apples? Here's the money. When you say that to a 5-year-old, chances are that they're going to get lost, that they're going to lose the money, that they're going to go completely different direction. And if they're going to ever return, they're going to return with chocolate, okay? Who cares about the apples? That's a young soul. If you talk to your adolescent child, okay, here's the money, buy the apples, they'll probably get back with those apples, but they're going to keep the change, and it's going to take them like 2 hours, because they're going to meet someone, they're going to start chatting, they're going to be talking on the phone, they're going to do whatever, but they'll probably bring the apples. But when you talk to your fully grown-up child, right? So you have a 30 or 40-year-old child and it's an adult, and you just, can you please do me a favor and go and pick up some apples? They're going to be back in 5 minutes with the apples, right? Things can always go wrong. Something can always happen. There always can be delays, but they know what they're supposed to do. They've grown ups. They've done this. It's a pretty simple task for them, right? So as twins, we plan how things are going to play out. So there's a date written in the stars for us to meet and for us to get into union, right? And our guides, as old souls, we come here with mission. We come here to live a life of service. So we have a very powerful spiritual team. All people who are meant to awaken. Remember, spiritual awareness is different than spiritual awakening, but all people who are meant to awaken, we're leaders for New Earth. So we're always divinely protected, and we have very strong spiritual teams. So for twinnies, from the day we're born, okay, from the day we're born, we're being guided by our spiritual teams, our guides, our ancestors, the souls of past loved ones, to be exactly at that place where we're supposed to meet. It is written in the stars, the place and the date. And chain reaction is being set in motion from the day that we're born. Sometimes even like the date of where our parents are born, right? To make sure, confirmation, to make sure we're going to exactly be at the exact time, at the exact place to meet. And then there's another date for us to get into union. Can we screw it up? Of course, we can always screw it up. Can we prolong things? As it would seem from our perspective, repeat a cycle? Yes, but go back to what I said about the apples. The soul would know. When your soul, because twinnies, there's going to be a difference between us too. Some of us are souls that had like 700 lives or 800 lives, and some of us had 500 lives. Some of us have bigger karma to clear, and some of us have a bit of a different mission, right? But your soul knows, and your soul knows you, and your soul is very wise. It has the ultimate knowledge of infinite knowledge of the universe. So it kind of knows what's going to happen when they put you in a blend with their body and give you all those wounds and all these challenges, right? So obviously, there's always contingency plan. There has to be a contingency plan because, for example, me with my twin, we're supposed to meet at that day, at that, but anything could happen. There's no coincidence in the universe, but there is a little randomness. So something could have happened. So there had to be a contingency to do it in the next bar or on the next day, right? Because it had to happen energetically. But we met on a very beautiful date, so numerologically speaking. So it happens a lot for the twins, that it's like a nice date and a nice hour, right? Numerologically speaking, symbolically speaking, side note. But we know our soul. We know ourselves. Our soul know how could we screw this thing up, right? So you think from your perspective, and many feminines, right? And I spoke about this in my video, that many feminines sometimes say, I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. The life that they've been through, the wounds that they have to heal, the traumas that they have to heal on the level of the soul, they're so painful. And I know a few feminines who went through in this lifetime unspeakable things, and to heal that sign, to heal that, it's sometimes difficult, and it feels from your perspective like, I need a breather, I need a pause, I don't want to do this anymore, right? But it keeps coming back in cycles because I told you, I explained this to you why. You cannot quit this journey. It will always circle around. But remember, your soul has infinite knowledge. So your soul knew that with that kind of trauma that we're going to give you, because you have to go through this in this lifetime, it probably going to take you a couple more years. It probably going to take you a little bit more effort. So from your perspective, it may seem that it's going slow and that you're giving up and that you had some setbacks and maybe you had to repeat some cycles. But again, remember, this is a chessboard ruled by the universe with infinite knowledge. They knew this. They knew this. So all is going according to plan. All you need to do, I promise you, all you need to do is relax, okay? Relax, surrender, feel that you're guided, be grateful that you're guided. Your date is written in the star. Focus on you, focus on your mission. It's already yours.